Hello and welcome to the Murrayfield and Me podcast, a love story by Bruce Aitchison from Happiness is Egg-Shaped. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today is slightly different, but it is a day that has really stuck with me, and a day that just recently I got emotional about again because of some of the people who were there, and I have reconnected with them. Now, I have to start this pod with a bit of a caveat that some of the information, some of the statistics, some of the scores might not be correct, but I hope you get the message. I loved being there and sharing this with some great people. It was the 5th of May 2019, which feels like a long, long time ago, when I was at Murrayfield, stood on the touchline with a microphone in my hand as the stadium announcer. The event was the girls' finals day, and there was 2 games to be played on the big pitch. The under-15s final between Stirling County and Highland, and then the under-18s final, Stirling County against Cartha Queen's Park. So 4 brilliant clubs, community clubs who are doing good stuff. Men's teams, women's teams, mini sections, social events, active in the community, making lives better. 4 fantastic teams from 3 clubs, and it was a brilliant day. There were fans in the main stand at Murrayfield. There was maybe 100, 150 at most, but having Stirling County in 2 of the finals on the main pitch meant that there was an atmosphere all the way through. We were joined on the touchline by Scotland International Sarah Law from the Pennycook Club, who is an absolute star, and Megan Kennedy, who was there supporting her team of Stirling County. And it was great to have them there as role models, very approachable, and all the girls who were involved loved getting their pictures taken and speaking to current Scotland internationals. On the back pitches, Lismore were playing against Caithness. That's a big travel. Lismore just down the road in Edinburgh, and Caithness way, way, way up north. And Hillhead, Jordan Hill and Biggar were playing as well. So there was busy, busy, busy. It was noisy. The chatter was relentless, but the atmosphere, the positivity and the buzz was absolutely off the chart. The bit I love about Murrayfield are the people, and it was a kind of calm day. You just arrived. There was no stress. There's no media. There's not massive security. It's just a day to enjoy the game of rugby, clubland, and growing the game. I met Norrie Anderson, the Kelso legend, the man who does so much in Scottish rugby. I think he's held almost every volunteer role in the game. Caught up with him, usual Borders banter. What are you doing here? Great to see him in the tunnel taking charge of things. Then there's the good guys, Adrian from Rugby People, the photographer, snapping away, taking pictures, and he sent them to me that last as memories and just spark something inside me when I see them. And the magnificent Brian Robertson, who's a county man and took great, great pride in seeing those 2 teams out on the main paddock that day. It was brilliant. The rugby was just unreal. Playing on that big pitch, it must have felt like a bit of heaven. So privileged for those girls. What an opportunity for them, having worked so hard to get to the finals. And it was a big deal. The finals were brilliant. Stirling County were absolutely superb. The under-18s final was brilliant. Cartha, led by Sammy, wearing number 8. What a beast, what a battering ram, now gone on and playing for Cartha, and I hope destined for great things. And then the county team just rammed with girls who were part of a conveyor belt. Watching people like Megan Kennedy and Evie Gallagher go ahead of them, people who are now Scotland internationals, and then they were just inspired. Did they want to be Scotland internationals? In that moment, no. They just wanted to play for their club, play for their mates, play on the big pitch, play for their families who were there to support. It was one of the most positive, heartwarming days I have spent at Murrayfield. I absolutely loved it. The games happened. I got to announce the tries. I loved getting those girls' names up onto the tannoy in that big bowl of a stadium, hopefully making memories that are going to last a very, very long time for them. Referee was Alexandra, who I know, PE teacher as well, from just down the road, getting to run around on the main paddock as referee. What a great opportunity for her. After the game, up into the clubhouse, little stage in the suite, and I got the captains and the coaches up. Cartha, great banter. Disappointed to lose, but so positive. No misery, no standard media trained answers, just giving it from the heart. Lots of thank yous, lots of togetherness, looking forward to the bus home, looking forward to having another go. Some of the players who were moving on, who were too old for the under-18s, were going to go into the women's game, going to go to uni and look for teams to play for. And it was great. It was inspiring to hear that they wanted to stay involved in the rugby family. And then those connections, those things that make the rugby world seem very, very small. It's more of a rugby village. The family is close. Up on stage come the Stirling County captain, Eva Donaldson, who's now at uni and playing in the Scotland Under-20 squad. And just note that name, Eva Donaldson. I've got no doubt she's going to go on to great things. And coach Al Wilson. Now, Al Wilson, for anybody in the Scottish club game or Scottish women's game, will know Al Wilson. He is the master of the selfie. I love a picture, but Al Wilson is the master of the selfie. Every game, selfie with him there and all the team in the back. The coaches, it's non-stop with Big Al. Selfie, selfie, selfie. Now, how do I know Al? Well, in another job where I wear another hat, I was a coach educator for Scottish Rugby Union, and I loved it, doing the level 1 and level 2 courses, working with people who are motivated, who want to improve, who want to create opportunities for young people to get involved in the game of rugby and make themselves a better person. First course I ever did, Stirling County Rugby Club, Bridge Hawk, in the shadow of the Wallace Monument up there in the hill. It is stunning. Who walks past Dougie Vipond watching his boy playing? Dougie, can we get a picture? Before we kind of knew, or he knew who I was, there he is with all the coaches and Dougie Vipond in the middle. Planning sessions, reviewing sessions, watching them coach, giving them some feedback. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And one of the students on the course was Big Al Wilson, who just wanted to create opportunities for people to play rugby and enjoy it. He'd had this under-18 team almost all the way through from primary school to that moment on the big paddock at Murrayfield, taking the Scottish Cup trophy. Interviewing Al with that tear in his eye and his captain next to him was an absolute joy, and one of the moments that's given me a bit of a shiver, because these little loops that close off in our game. I met Al, strangers, we had a little part to play with each other for a little spell on a coach ed course, and then fast forward a few years, there he is as a Scottish Cup winning coach, and there I am with a microphone to ask him how it felt. It was awesome. I absolutely loved it. And in planning this, because believe it or not, sometimes there is a little bit of planning goes in. I messaged Al. I said, Al, listen, I need some help. Who is playing? What happened? And he sends me a video, which I've just watched. And there was a bit of a tear in my eye, because I asked Eva, the captain, a question. I said, Eva, when you go back to school, here's your job. I want you to sell rugby. So go for it. Give us your sales pitch. So the suite is full of mums and dads and brothers and sisters and players and opposition and people from Scottish rugby. The place was rammed. And there she is, 17-year-old girl on the spot, on stage, microphone in hand to sell rugby. And what did she say? She said the good stuff. She said it's about the people. She said we get to be there and we spend time together and we share experiences. And thank you to the coaches who are helping us become better players and better people. It was magnificent. If you need a role model, that's who we need. People who are not talking about, I am a winner. People who are talking about the social interaction, building relationships, sharing experiences and making memories. Eva, you did a brilliant job. And then Al speaks and he says, yeah, just like Eva, it's about the people. We went on tour. The girls had never had that experience before. We bonded, we shared experiences, we played rugby, and that started their season very well. They have committed themselves to train, to be better, to work hard. And he said that is what gives him the joy. He mentioned character. Now, what lesson do we need to learn? Al invested in those girls, not money, time, energy, love, commitment, and the girls took it. And he'd seen them from primary school all the way through to under 18. And the cherry on the top was that they got to have a dance at Murrayfield where they were given a big shiny cup. I'm not sure if they can remember the result of that day. I'm not sure if they've got pictures on their wall of holding that trophy, but what they will have are fantastic memories of that journey that they spent together, of that moment in time at BT Murrayfield, a place I love and I've got no doubt they'll love, a place they'll be telling people about the time they got to be at BT Murrayfield, where they played on the big pitch, where they spent time together. And maybe even Eva might tell a story about being interviewed after by some bald guy who has a podcast and might mention her name. Stirling County have produced players. They've seen players be capped this year. Evie Wills played that day. She got her first cap in the Six Nations recently against Italy. What a massive honour. These days are not to go and talent spot. These days are not to go and predict the future. These days are to go and enjoy, spend time together, and make some fantastic memories. And BT Murrayfield, I loved it because you were the venue. And getting that opportunity to stroll around and meet people and to interview people and to see the joy that rugby brought that day on a sunshine day in May at Murrayfield was awesome. My name is Bruce Aitchison. This has been the Murrayfield and Me podcast. You can catch it on Apple, on Spotify, and on Acast. You'll also be able to watch on Facebook and YouTube. Please subscribe, get involved, leave us a review if you've enjoyed it. Send me some ideas for guests on the Monday pod, or if you've got a memory on a Thursday, it might be one for me to share. My name is Bruce Aitchison. This has been Murrayfield and Me, and my happiness is egg-shaped. I look forward to speaking to you again soon.